I'm Michael Kerkering.
I'm Carmela.
Sarah Marie Karstens.
Oscar Winter.
Dee Mount, go by Dee Mount.
We are here working on a feature film, which is really crazy to say. Once again, we're back in an area that we had been before. We're in this waterfall regionally. This time the weather's looking like it's gonna cooperate with us a little better. We had originally planned 5 days down in this area to get all of the shots and scenes we needed, and of course that ended up being way too ambitious.
Wrapping Bromo felt like wrapping the movie because it was so hard and like so many days in the same location. So we wrapped Bromo and we're like, all right, I'm ready to go home with a movie. No, we still have so many scenes left and they were not easier scenes. The waterfall area, this was like where the crown jewel of Indonesia's waterfalls live. Gigantic waterfall that every Instagrammer, YouTuber that went to Bali and Java has take pictures there. It was just like the icon of Java.
Anyone who's, looked at the travel content has seen some of these epic waterfalls here in Java. So it's not like it's anything new, but our goal was to go there and, shoot them in a way that people had never seen before.
It was a lot of planning, a lot of dealing with water, a lot of hiking, a lot of mosquitoes.
It was cool to see a lot of these like Instagram versus reality moments, right? Like a lot of people have gone to these places and are trying to do exactly what we're doing, shoot them in a way that's magical and isolating, but in reality, these are tourist hotspots.
In the movies, like this isolated place, really next to her, there was a bunch of tourists. We were trying to show that there were a bunch of people and this tribe and all these things that were happening. And I'm in the movie like 3 times being 3 different people, all extras.
And I needed extras. That was always the plan. And it was looking like we weren't gonna find those people. But at the homestay we were staying at, there was this really nice family, that was running the homestay and taking care of us. And I ended up talking to the kids of that family and convinced like 4 or 5 of them to take the day off of school and come be in our movie. And that was so fun because they could not be more excited. And honestly, they gave us some really good performances that I was not expecting. Camera's okay, but
So we got extras, our drivers become extras, Angel and Joe became extras. Everybody was on the one side of the camera or the other, but we were all trying to make it work.
There were several times throughout this movie where locals stepped up, not always in an acting capacity, but whether it was our drivers in Bromo, all the drivers that lugged us around Bali the whole time, and then the people that we stayed with at the homestays always being hospital, always taking care of us. I mean, the people of Indonesia were really special to be around.
we're cutting it close for sure right now. So probably gonna have to push everything up and try to get it on the back end.
Well, our Jeep overheated or broke down or had some sort of mechanical issue climbing this hill, which is crazy because we didn't even have this much trouble scouting with our automatic van. So, the last few days, we've suffered some pretty major setbacks. 2 days ago, going down the waterfall for the first time, we essentially got down there a little over an hour later than we wanted to due to an outfit situation.
Christian, one of the main characters, doesn't have a t-shirt. How are we gonna do with continuity?
Then yesterday was supposed to be a really big day to really cramming in a lot, and unfortunately, Sarah was dealing with some stomach issues, and we had like a 2.5, 3 hour break. And you know, to her credit, like she was fighting really hard through that. So essentially, a day that were trying to get 4 scenes done in, we only ended up getting 1. And we honestly didn't even finish that 1. And the only solution that Car and I figured out was staying here extra time. We basically are gonna stay in this area until we wrap now on the 28th.
He said like inside, don't have fan, don't have
care,
AC,
whatever.
don't have hot shower.
If there's a bed, we'll take it right now.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't know what we would have done without Angel, like finding spots out of thin air that could fit 15 people.
Other than when you are sleeping in the room, this place is dope.
Yeah.
Podcasts, everything can go down.
For sure.
It's gonna be a weird situation. Like we're gonna be living dorm style. It's gonna feel like summer camp, I guess.
I'm standing on my toilet. It's outside.
I bet that's saber-toothed over.
One room with all the guys and all their clothes and all the smelliness.
We're just glad we got it. This is gonna solve all of our problems logistically and allow us to finish the movie and finish it in the way that we want without sacrificing on quality or scenes. So honestly, at this point, it's a godsend to have this. We were gonna spend the last 2 days in this area actually going down to the coast, which was about an hour and a half from us. These scenes were not the hardest logistically, but it was a very emotional scene for Sarah's character in the movie. So this was really about making sure that she was in the right headspace, that I was in the right headspace to direct her properly. When you're doing these emotional scenes on any set, you know, you really have to be careful and make sure the actor has the space to get in the right headspace for the scene. And on our shoot, a lot of that stuff was extremely more complicated given all the logistical nightmares we had been dealing with. So it was really important on this day to get down there early, you know, take a deep breath, let Sarah do her thing, and then, you know, get down to business.
This last dialogue scene was so impactful, and I think it really rounded off the entire message that my character Maya wanted to bring to this movie. It started on a beach, how we introduced my character, and it ended on a beach, which is also beautiful.
And she absolutely killed it. I mean, she, you know, went away, got in the right mindset, she came back ready to rock and roll, and she absolutely killed the scene. I mean, I was almost in tears myself just reacting to her performance. And, you know, I know she put a lot of effort into this, and this was also her final scene, like, in production. So we were essentially wrapping her that day.
Hi.
I tried to present a powerful woman who is still very kind and leads every situation with her heart and with her faith, and doesn't act out of anger, tries to understand everyone and everything around her, and just leads with compassion. All I was thinking about was the actual scenario. I had to watch everyone eat snacks, and I couldn't because I was preparing. And now I get to eat an Oreo.
And you guys will do with me.
Behind.
Yeah, the one in the back.
Now, one opportunity I had been searching for the entire production was I really wanted to get a shot where we see the main characters that have left Bali and they've come to Java, and the whole idea is, you know, they get off of a boat and they're on the island now. But we didn't know exactly where we were going to shoot that.
Somehow we got to that beach that we planned, that we just find on Google, and it was a perfect beach, like literally the perfect beach.
And after we wrapped Maya's scene, I mean, we're right there on the beach, and I'm looking around, and there's a lot of these boats laying around, and they're the exact same boats that match our earlier scene. And I was like, we got to find a way to do this.
I feel like, I'm assuming, I mean, on most projects, I feel like that's something that like you kind of do during scouting, and like you see the potential for an idea like that, and they begin workshopping that for weeks and figuring out exactly how they're gonna pull that off. We literally stumbled across that at the beach, and Michael was like, yeah, let's make this happen. And within the next hour, we had the shot.
Halfway down the beach, we gotta push that thing about, I think maybe 6 or 7, maybe 8 of us just pushing that boat just deep enough into the water so that it doesn't get swept up by the ocean, but that it looks like we just landed.
We were looking around for some of the locals and asking them like, hey, can we use this boat? Can we like pay you a little bit to use this boat? And then all of us, like all the crew basically, and a handful of locals helped us, you know, drag the boat because that thing was heavy.
20 plus people who live here, and they're like gathered around us and behind the camera just watching, and very supportive. They're all smiling.
I mean, we had like to time a perfect wave coming through so then Adam could jump off and land in the water at the perfect moment. And then it had to be enough frames so that when Adam and Gracia walk out of the frame, then me and Sarah enter the frame.
We had to time several things right, and like it was taking take after take after take, and like it was almost getting to that point where you're like, okay, is this worth it? Like, I think we're on take 9, take 10, and each take takes like 45 seconds. It's a long shot, then like a 2-minute reset.
No, dude, we lost him way too soon.
Got him way too soon.
He's sweating, you know, doing the track over and over. The actors are confused. I'm far away with Brian trying to watch through the monitor while he's pulling focus on 4 different points throughout the shot. It was just like so complicated.
When we hit that final shot, we knew that we did because we looked at Michael, and normally he has something to say after the end of every shot, but this time he didn't have anything to say. All he had was a smile. And we just kind of knew, and everyone just kind of went up. Woo, that's a wrap. And that moment was awesome. Big huddle within all of the cast and the crew. Big screams and yells, and a beach behind us, and beautiful sets to always celebrate in.
So that ended up being Gracia's last day, Sarah's last day, as well as Adam's last day. So we basically were able to wrap all 3 of them, and it really felt like, you know, a wrap.
Gracias, wrap!
Gracias! One more day to go after this where we would return to the quarry and get the final shots we needed there, but this was really cool to be in that moment.
They better not throw us in the ocean.
Yeah. The next day we had to go to this quarry. The quarry was like getting in jeeps. Those jeeps were gonna take us through this really crazy, like a rocky terrain.
And this time, thank God, they worked, they got us down there. Even though it was fairly calm logistically, there was a lot we had to get done, and this was our last day of production.
I can't think of the last time
ever really that I was this close to a film crew and a film cast outside of, you know, a theatre run. This has been once in a lifetime experience, and I can't think of much else better for a final day of filming, which also happens to be my birthday. I can't think of anything much better than hanging out with these guys and doing what we're doing and finishing off what will hopefully be a phenomenal story that we can't wait to show you guys.
It almost didn't even feel real. Like, I thought when we wrapped I was gonna have this big, like, almost emotional breakdown, and I didn't. I was just almost like, I can't even describe how I felt. It was just like a whole weight had been lifted off my shoulders, but I like was so like traumatized, if you will, from the whole experience. Like, I wasn't even ready to celebrate yet. It was just like, thank God that's over.
Everyone in that Jeep is now wrapped.
We got all the shots we needed, and that was it. The movie was a wrap.
I definitely lost 5 years of life in this trip. It was worth it though, I'm not gonna lie. I love the cast. It was like becoming a family for real.
I'm gonna miss them like family. Aww.
We're shooting it from both.
Clap for sound.
Just went live with 8 miles It's definitely. But I think because like brakes are off. Why am I pushing so?
Alright, the geeks and nerds.
Fuck everything?
Yeah.
It's true. Oh, there's always that.
There's always something else.
They're in the front, Nico and I in the front, then you see.
Cram it down.
Some great smiles.
Annabelle, you have done it.
Crazy, man. It's.
Yeah, the way we're here, right?
Yeah, I think want the waterfront.
Fury win everything, man. That's fucking insane.
Oh, it's all when he silhouettes in the smoke.
It's crazy to think that after this insane of a journey, that this is only the beginning.
You crossed the river, Sarah! Wait!
Look how far we've come.